my friends. If this is your first time here, then welcome. This spread for this particular reading has been developed over years to really find a combination that really works. And also, just to let you know, this is not that your ex is coming back and just like I'm throwing this on you. No, this is for the people who actually are still having a connection, or maybe they're anticipating kind of like that something still is ongoing. They still want something to happen with their ex, such as like maybe hoping for a reunion. If you're not wanting your ex, then please, this is not a reading for you. Check my monthlies instead. So in a moment, I'm going to explain the cards, but at the same time, I'm going to provide a timestamp for those people who already know it. If you're the first time here, please go to the explanation. But before I start this, yay, there's like something that you waited for entire year, my 2019 annual TAROSCOPES. It's time to pre-order. So you can go www.cattarot.ca/annual, and that's going to get you to the form. The moment when I make the first one, this price of $19.99 for individual sign or $39.99 for all signs is going to move to $29.99 for one and $59.99 for all. So this is like your opportunity to really grab a good deal. If you remember the last year, then they were like about hour and a half to 2 hours long. It was covering all kind of like segments and career and love and family and so on and so forth. In the description of this video, you are going to be able to see the 2018. So just like scroll down below and check it. Okay, so the next is to kind of like jump into this explanation, and for my regulars, here is a timestamp, and just jump right straight to the reading. Okay guys, as you're going to see, I don't know if you can see the difference in colors. Look at how old is this deck, about 25 years old. And the same cards exist in this deck as well. So I am choosing these 7 cards because they're going to be able to give me that combination, that magic key, and the answer that you really want. So let's start. Like, first card that I have taken over here is the Magician. And the Magician is really going to tell me about what is going on for your relationship. If this is really a go, if your relationship can actually fly. It's also going to tell me if your relationship was ever a starter. So both positive and negative is going to give us some answers. The next one is going to be the Temperance reversed. And usually the Temperance upright talks about stars are aligning and everything is like kind of like working together. When it is reversed, it tells me what is really not gluing and what kind of like things you still really need to pay attention and even work on in a relationship. So it's kind of like a really important combination of the two. Then we are going to have the Queen of Wands and also Knight of Wands. With these two cards, they are going to be significators for you and your mate, right? So they are interchangeable. You have to kind of like decide which one are you, and you're going to know it as when I start reading which one applies. This is the energy in between the two of you, and it's going to tell me if there is any communication and what's going on. Is there any manipulation? Is there any approach? And so on and so forth. Kind of like really important as well. Then we have Karma card. Many people disregard, karma, who cares? Well, let me ask you this. If you're now looking back in the past and you think about your relationships, isn't this like, a point that you think, I should have skipped this one? You see, this is really what is telling you about it. Maybe you really go, I want it. But karma is telling you, maybe, sweetie, you shouldn't be going in that direction. So that category is very important, because if you're not in sync with karma, everything will be breaking and things will not be coming your way, right? And then lastly, we have Four of Wands, and Four of Wands is kind of like going to tell me where is like this whole relationship going on and what can you do. So let's start with the reading itself. Hello Virgo, and welcome to your end of October. November is your ex coming back. You know, like this general disclaimer, make sure that you check your ascendant, you're checking your moon sign. If you don't know how to find it, in the description, you're going to find a link to find and to get your natal chart, so you can kind of like look into that. And yeah, I mean, this is because, you know, on general reading, you kind of like don't get it custom made for you, but you can get your own private reading. This is still on special for $50, and you get it within a week now. So cattarot.ca if, guys, you want it. So now, Virgo, let me tell you a secret. You're last, right? Because now in Libra season and now soon Scorpio season, you're going to be penultimate. But just because you're last, I kind of like make a pause for these last two signs, and I kind of like make sure that my energy is like really refreshed. I kind of like do meditate. So just because you know, otherwise the reader would be exhausted at this stage, trust me, these little tidbits of reading takes so many more takes to do it and redo it and edit it properly. And I want every sign to have the equal amount of energy that I have. I'm not perfect all the time. I'm sometimes kind of like more intuitive, sometimes less. But I just, before Leo, I actually meditated. And it's kind of like weird because when I was doing Leo, the sun showed up. And this is their basically sign. So let's see what's going to happen with you, because my energy is really, really high right now. Oh my God, 10 of Pentacles. I'm just trying to remember which sign was this that got it. So there could be issues on the home front. You might be trying to patch certain things together. This is like very much connecting to your core, to who you are. It's also Earth. It's like really talking about a lack of cooperation of the others. Maybe you are carrying on lots of burdens. Maybe you're feeling a little isolated in a situation. Maybe, you know, you're having other people demanding things that you at this stage cannot deliver, or maybe those things depend on somebody else as well, which kind of like is not in the cards at this stage. Well, there you are. The Hermit represents you in tarot, and there is this King of Cups, and there is like 5 of Cups reversed. Now this is kind of like really interesting, because you obviously, especially if you're Virgo, you're coming here to see, you know, the energy about your ex. But I'm also feeling here a lots of cross-watching energy for people who probably partners are Virgos. And it is like definitely talking and thinking about something or somebody. It could be that there is like somebody who is a husband or somebody who has been very, very important. But these two people are almost like in their own world. But their own worlds are not colliding. Their own worlds are sort of like separated. Like, you know, each they have their own fallopian tube, and this person could be a little bit depressed. I mean, it could be either or. As I said, the significators are interchangeable. But it's like really telling me that you're trying to figure out some sense in a situation. And it looks like you're trying and willing to make sacrifices to improve things. However, you are also aware that you need nourishment. You cannot keep doing things without, you know, having that soft place to fall. And maybe you forgot to communicate this, maybe you didn't. It could be somebody in your life that feels very lost. I mean, this to me is ultimately a card of depression, that somebody's seeing all the cups empty. It's kind of like turning your back. It's just like we have these two figures right now in these like big long cloaks, and you see the buttons were a big discovery, so we didn't have to wear these like big cloaks anymore. Both reversed. It's kind of like both kind of like showing insecurity, showing like an inability to have a good standing. So it could be also that somebody was affecting your financial bottom line, that I see over here, and you said to yourself, I need to kind of like figure certain things out. Hermit is a really good card. It's kind of like one of the 3 God cards that really show up here. It's like kind of like understanding that the abundance and wealth is all inside of you, and he's looking with his lamp like the other people who are willing and capable or understand that. And so the entire interaction is going to be so deep. It's not going to be, hey, you know what, I have this much money and let's kind of like do that. No, it's going to be kind of like trying to figure out which people are a really good fit and kind of like answer those questions for yourself. So almost like you're saying to yourself, and that's kind of very pragmatic for basically earth sign, it would make sense. Kind of like, yeah, I do want to do this. I want to be with you. I want to sacrifice for you. But it cannot be a one street, one kind of like direction kind of thing. It has to be a two-way street, right? Knight of Swords and Two of Wands. And the truth is, you just cannot build things if there are not two to tango. It's kind of very hard to tango on your own. If you know anything about dancing, and I highly recommend to everybody to try, is really talking about more than, it's not physical exercise, never mind that. I don't think you're going to really burn too many calories unless you go for, let's say, salsa or something. Dancing is an exercise in understanding the opposite gender, because we are learning in a society more and more that we cannot rely on the other people, so we are getting more and more independent, which is great. But we also want relationships, and they didn't die down. And really, we don't have proper training, because most of our mothers and fathers are still coming from this like nuclear family, where kind of like things were made in a sort of like very kind of structured way. You know, father would go and work and mother would kind of like take care of the family, and we don't have that anymore. Things are lost, and maybe nobody wants to find that situation in a assigned role. And here is really telling me that, you know, there is going to be sort of kind of like a shakedown of some kind of like status quo, shakedown in how somebody is like perceiving relationship and perceiving life in entirety, right? Because you really wanted to be with someone, but that someone is not capable of understanding that it takes two to tango. It's just kind of like they are sulking, right? It's just like almost like childlike attitude, and it looks like you're saying, yeah, I really want to be with you, but you have to be adult. And it looks like they they just keep damaging more than actually doing good things. And this karma is saying this person is like their own worst enemy over here from what I see. Wow, King of Pentacles. This could be you guys, but it could be, and that could be the case. Maybe you got involved with somebody who basically happened to have issues, marital problems, and they kind of like were looking for a solution. They really didn't know what they want in the situation. I absolutely think there are like more than basically the two of you in the stage for sure. And that's why they're saddened. It looks like nothing is working for me. No matter what they try, it doesn't work for me. Maybe you kind of like figure that one out, and you call that thing and you said, that's it, you know, I kind of like did go this far, but now you have to show me that you actually do want to do things, whatever, you know. Maybe somebody's saying, because this King of Pentacles, which generally represents Taurus in this deck, right? So you have this Taurus, like you have the earth sign, you have air signs over here, and actually even water signs. You have this person who is not really telling you the truth. They keep telling you, oh yeah, I'm going to leave somebody, something is going to work out. But I really think I don't know if they really think that. They maybe think that someday something will happen, but they're really, let's put it this way, they're not doing much about it. You're kind of like tired about secrets, and maybe you are a little secret over here in the end, and you're opening yourself out and up to possibilities. They can be very impetulant, they can be very demanding, and I guess they're starting to feel this kind of like freedom energy coming from you. And you're not going in this freedom energy just because you don't want them. I really think you do. You really want it to go all the way. But at certain point, like, I mean, it looks like you're building basically house of cards, and nothing kind of like would work. And And there's like kind of like this whole thing, kind of like, let me try different things. I really think they kind of like could be watching you, could be observing you. I really also feel this person really wants to control you, and especially because you kind of like are demanding your independence. So what I was saying is like we need to learn, and dancing is a good thing for that interdependence, where you understand that, you know, you cannot do everything on your own, and like that teamwork is like really so evident. And I mean, I would almost like make it mandatory in schools, how much I learned from my dance lessons. Two of Pentacles and the Sun. You know, this person is just looking at what is done to them. They're like so childish. They're so impetulant that honestly I just like want them to get them over the knee and spank them a little bit. They're juggling. They're definitely juggling. It is like about marriage. It's about children. There is like something that they have going on in their life, and yet they kind of like don't want to lose something here, so they're looking in all directions, kind of like, what do I do with this? I really think that maybe they screw their head properly and they don't want to. I think that could be marriage, and they don't want to leave that marriage, and that's because of the children, and they're realizing how important that really is. But they also need to communicate that to you, and I really think you're really, really clear on that, what's going on over here. And again, I'm getting like this third person over here. So this is like really talking and is falling in this category about what needs kind of like helping over here. There is like this lack of intuitive energy. So when the High Priestess shows up here, it's clearly telling you a few things. You need to get a therapy. You need to kind of like get that somebody else honestly tells you like what they see. You know, friends are really good, meaning they don't want to hurt you. A really good friend will tell you what they see. This also can mean go and get a tarot reading because it has the same function. But don't get a fortune-telling reading, get a tarot reading. Somebody who is able to analyze this and give you recommendations. Also make sure that somebody actually did go through issues in their own life, and that way they're able to comprehend life versus just learning 2 or 3 words about a card. This is telling me that somebody really needs to feel victorious, and this person still could be lingering in your life. It could be back and forth, it could be arguing, it could be, you know, romancing and all these big promises and then letting you down and then coming back with big promises. Kind of like looks like it could be kind of like teeter-totter going on. And look at this, like you're showing up reversed. And I really think this entire situation, even if this is only happening in your thoughts, that you're going back and forth with about things that have been happening with this person, you are getting very destabilized. Queen of Wands reversed is like, ugh, kind of like, oh my god, I cannot take this. And she can be vicious, she can be demanding, she can be kind of like, but this is really good. I usually don't see reversed court cards as really good ones, but in your case I'm going to make this exception because I'm feeling this is really good. Like, I mean, you failed to be angry in this situation. Almost like you exhibited like Pisces energy, kind of like, sure, I'm fine, I understand, but inside you started to feel that something is wrong and you didn't want to listen to your intuition, right? And this is really making you angry. And I like when people get angry because then you're getting in a stage where you can actually change things. You're getting angry because nothing is changing. And if nothing is changing, you can actually do something about it. You don't have to stay around, right? If you keep sticking around, you're going to get kind of like stuck in this kind of like situation over here. See, they keep coming back in your life always with a different face. They wear so many masks. As I told you, they do have nice parts, and I think one of the nice parts about them is, one, financially, you feel that you have same attitudes. You have the same attitudes possibly toward work and possibly toward family. And to some extent, on that level, they can be reliable. And that's what you like. That kind of like really appeals to your earthy nature. But at the same time, you know, you and him are not seeing eye to eye. many things, and this is causing a lots of kind of broken things. If you really look at this category, and this is like what's supposed to be working for you, like everything is really off in this period of time. So we have another 2 here for karma, and so we have 2 and we have 2 and we have a 2. So this period of time is going to be unstable. It's going to be lots of decisions needing to be made. Like she is wearing a blindfold over here, and decision needs to be made, as I said. If somebody, you know, like, I mean, putting a foot down and kind of like giving an ultimatum to someone also means that if they do not kind of like do things that you want, and if you cannot find collaboration, then you literally have to walk away. If you don't walk away, you're sending a message, well, that's just fine, right? I cheat on you and you take me back. I cheat on you again, you take me back. So what's going to prevent me of cheating again? Or I steal from you and you're still around with me. You didn't block it, you didn't change your lock, you didn't change your passwords. So you see, like, I mean, every action has consequences. So also your actions, even kindness has consequences. It's even saying in English, no good deed goes unpunished. Because that state of flux, state of like, I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know if I should hope for this person or not hope for this person, is kind of like creating delayed healing. And it's really important for you to find your star, because look at these 2 cards. Can you see that both of them have the star? He has it here in his lantern and she has it over here. So you guys really need to figure it out, how to find yourself in this situation. If this person is stabilizing you, you were on the right path. You were like looking for your own inner wisdom, for basically guidance. It almost looks like you're looking also for spiritual guidance in the situation. And that is very important. And you are on the right path. Do not, if you get angry, just tell yourself, like, okay, you're this close. You're really this close. Don't let anybody take you off your path. So Virgo, this might not be you, so get your own reading, cattarot.ca. Only your energy comes through, but don't forget to check your ascendant and check your moon sign. And also, I would love to get your comments, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And lastly, like, you know, as I said, every Saturday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, there's live reading. And if you are a subscriber, you're going to be invited. You also click the bell. You can schedule it for reminder, so it comes and shows up. So it's really good because you can send your energy over there. But the best part is that somebody is always chosen for a 15-minute reading, so that's something cool, and I hope to see you there. And in the meantime, you can connect for your daily dose of tarot via my Instagram and Facebook accounts. My Virgo, you see, you were the last, but you got more time than others. All the best. You know that I love you.